Hello and welcome to the Embroidered Elephant podcast 10. My name is Kim and welcome to my channel. This is my little space on YouTube where I go through lots of different creative things, such as projects I'm currently working on or different series. So if you are new to the idea of a podcast, it is where someone comes and they discuss any life updates that they've got, any finished objects, predominantly crochet, knitting or sewing related, or it could be scrapbooking or anything like that. So they talk about any finished objects that they've got, any works in progress, which are referred to as WIPs, W-I-P-S. That is anything that's not quite finished yet but has been started, and any future plans, which is ideas that they've currently got that again they haven't started yet. So thank you for joining me after that slightly lengthy intro. I'm very glad to have you here. So for those of you who have seen my channel before, I cannot remember the last time I did a podcast. I do believe that it was in my new little space, which is my house. Specifically, this is my little office area or my sewing area. Quite a lot has happened. Again, I can't remember where I left off. Last time that I did a podcast, I was at a previous job, which I love. However, due to a few circumstances, a choice that was my own, I left the full-time employment, so 9 till 5 on a Monday to Friday, and I am focusing on my business. So far I think I've been doing it for a month, just over a month. I'm really enjoying it. I find it quite tricky to know exactly what to do, but I think that's part of the process. You know, I've never truly worked and focused solely on my business before, and due to that I think there's a lot of things that I will need to figure out along the way. So I've started getting myself into a routine. So obviously it is November, so apologies for those who aren't big into Christmas, but especially for small businesses or those who sell products aimed for Christmas. November is quite late to start making Christmas stuff to sell. So I've been working, in terms of my business, I've been working a lot on advent calendars, stockings, different Christmas bags, and sending them off ASAP, just so that people can get them in time, and especially for those orders that are going across quite a distance. So America, Europe isn't too bad, but still a bit of a distance, especially with some of the postal companies' reputations. I'll leave that there. But yes, I am still working in my previous job during the night, so I can take specific night shifts or day shifts over the weekend, and that suits me well, because then I've got my days free to sew or record videos, which I will be making more of an effort on. I say that every single time, I know. Time just slips away. Apart from that, everything is good. I don't think that I've got any major news. Some happy news. My brother, who lives in America, is coming over in December, which I'm really excited about. So there will be a day before Christmas where we are celebrating Christmas, pre-Christmas Christmas, so that we can spend it all together as a family. I am also, on the subject of Christmas, I'm also planning on doing Vlogmas, which is, again, as I plan it, don't hold me to this, because it might be less frequent than every single day. What a lot of people do is they release Christmas style vlogs every day throughout December. My plan was is to release regular videos throughout December with various themes. For example, you know, little moments during my day of what I actually do as a small business owner during the holiday period. So that would be sewing, any projects that I'm making for myself or for loved ones, for presents, etc. Just quite a casual one. Again, my aims are for the videos to be sort of around 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. Occasionally I probably will have one that's a little bit more, just due to the time that it takes to edit. And also I understand that time is precious, and if I am releasing an hour-long video every single day, the likelihood is that people won't have an hour every single day to watch me talk about sewing or crochet, etc. And there's a lot of people who do Vlogmas, especially in the creative and the knitting, sewing community. So I understand that there's probably, if Vlogmas is something that you're interested in, there's probably a few people that you want to go and see. So yeah, that is my aims. Watch this space. Hopefully it does materialise into something that's quite interesting. I find it sometimes, I think the last time I tried to do it was a few years ago. I had a camera which worked very, very well. I had my laptop which worked fine. Editing the videos was painful. The amount of times I stayed up until stupid o'clock trying to edit a video, the computer kept crashing, or it would do something wrong, or it couldn't download it to upload it to YouTube. So that's the reason why I haven't done a Vlogmas to date. I think the experience just scarred me for a little while. But this year, being in my own flat, it would be nice to take you around and show you a little bit more of me and what I do and sort of my creative process. So if you've got any thoughts on that, please feel free to reach out or drop a comment below. And after that very long intro, let's get started into my finished objects and my whips, etc. Predominantly in podcast 10 I will be talking a lot about sewing objects, because that seems to be what I've done more of. So to start off with, you may have seen this in another video. I was wearing this. So this is a simple wrap dress, so I will show you it a bit better. So this goes around, so it's got a button at the waist. You button it up, and then this waistband that you cannot see, there's a waistband that goes around the edge and it ties with the other waistband on the side. So this is a really poor demonstration, but hopefully you can sort of see the idea behind it. So this fabric, this is the skirt, by the way. So it's a very full skirt. So this is some fabric that I bought a few years ago actually, or maybe it was this year, from the Stitch Festival. Maybe it's in London, so I think it is the Stitch Festival. I bought this on offer. I'm really interested actually to go back and find out if I say how much it was. I believe that it was £9 for 2 meters, which seems quite good. It may be a really bad price, but for me it sounded good and I loved it. So you can sort of see it's a checkered pattern, so it's navy blue, although it does look very dark, navy blue and white checkered pattern. It is quite dusty because I put it in the washing machine with some paper. There was a pattern that was in with the washing machine, so now it's got fluff everywhere. I've tried to defluff it, won't work. I'll have to find something because I can't wear it as fluffy as this. So this was a self-drafted pattern. Now, is it the strongest of sewing? Absolutely not. On the edges, I've now bought an overlocker so I can overlock when I make any more of these, I can overlock them. But it is very rough. It was a self-drafted pattern from a dress that I absolutely love. I believe the dress was a little bit small, and if you're a female, don't want to stereotype, if you're a female watching this, you will probably know the feeling of keeping an outfit, thinking one day I'll get into it, one day I'll get into it. So this was an outfit of a dress that I had kept in my wardrobe, knowing that I absolutely loved it, knowing I loved the style, thinking one day I'll fit into this dress again. And I thought, actually I'm a bit tired of waiting to be able to fit into this dress. Why don't I just make one of my own? And I did that by tracing out all of the pattern pieces. I didn't take the outfit apart. I drew out all of the pattern pieces and made it slightly bigger. So I just added a panel down the back and a panel either side. The dress that I have is quite a bit bigger. It's baggy. It is probably a bit on the large side for me, but it's comfortable. The fabric is really, because it's cotton, it's really nice on the skin, and it's really easy to repeat and do again and again and again. So I have made another one which I will show you in a minute. The difference between the two, or the main difference between the two, is this is a pleated skirt. So I used the whole length of the fabric. Again, I think it's 2 meters. I used the whole length of the fabric and just pleated it. So this skirt is a lot fuller. And the other, this dress was the second one I made, or this was the first one I made. You can see that it's not as pleated. So this was again a kind of an exact replica of the other dress, where I measured out the pieces for the bottom, and that is what I copied. So this was the other fabric that I bought at the same time. So you can see again, that's checkered fabric. It's cotton, it's really nice to wear. And the only difference between them is the skirt. So I'll show you quickly what they look like. So this is the first one I made. So this is the white and blue checkered fabric. So you can't see the bottom of it. It comes to just sort of just above my knee. This is where it ties, obviously, and this is where the fabric is pulled. This is how it looks. I really like the way that I find it quite flattering, the way that the skirt falls. There we go, you can see the bottom of it there. So the only slight issue with this dress is when I sit down, because it's not a full skirt, it can sort of ride up, and the skirt can sort of separate. Again, if you're a female or you wear a lot of dresses, hopefully you sort of understand what I mean. Probably not explaining it very well. So that is the first one. And this is the second one I made. So you can see, hopefully you can see the differences. So this is the checkered fabric. So the sleeves come down to my elbows, which I really like. This comes across, and then the main difference is the skirt is a lot fuller and it's just below my knees. Again, that's sort of it from the side or the back. So I really liked these patterns. Again, they were self-drafted and they went really well. This dress probably took me around 2-3 hours, and I love it. Now that I've filmed this video, I can actually wear it again. I've had it in a pile of things to show you. So yeah, just before I get changed again, I just wanted to show you the last object, or the last clothing project that I sewed. So this is quite a nice fabric. It is sort of a yellow and brown checkered one. It's really stretchy. I believe that it's cotton, but maybe brushed slightly. So this is a skirt that I made from a Simplicity pattern, I believe, but I'll show you in a minute. So I quite like the way that this falls. Again, it's a wrap skirt, so it's quite it's changeable, you know, if I put on weight, if I lose weight, if I wanted to gift it to someone, it's transferable. Yeah, it's fine. I would say it's not the most flattering thing I've ever made. You've got my dress on the floor. It's not the most flattering thing that I've ever made, but also it's not the worst thing I've ever made either. So it's sort of neutral. I think it depends a lot on the fabric that you use. This one is obviously quite flowy. I had this fabric laid out for a plan for some pyjama bottoms. However, I didn't have enough, so I thought a skirt is something that I've wanted to make for a little while. It was really simple. There wasn't too much to it. The only difficulty that I did have is because the fabric was a weird length, I had to sort of botch together a few things. But yeah, I did say that was the last time that you'd see something that I made. However, I've just remembered that I've made these pyjama bottoms. Da, 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 da. So you can see that they've got it's Tommy Hilfiger fabric and it's got socks on. Don't ask me why. It's brushed cotton, so it's really soft. Unfortunately these patterns don't actually have any pockets, and because there's not a seam down the side, it would be a cut into it specifically for pockets, so I haven't added them yet. They're obviously drawstring and they're quite long. This is another pattern, I'll show you in a minute. I did find this pattern really quite simple. Again, the issue I had is because I was working from stash and I don't necessarily know how much fabric I've got for everything. It was a little bit tricky. So in the pattern it advises that you use matching fabric for the drawstring. I didn't have any, so I've used some cotton twill, cotton cord, just doubled it over and sewn it shut. It advises that you put some elastic around the waistband so that it's more flattering. Again, I didn't have any, or I didn't have enough, so I haven't done that. So I haven't followed the pattern 100%. The pattern was fine. I would say that maybe it was my measuring, or maybe it's just the pattern is a little on the large side. These are very big. So yeah, I mean, I can fit more than my hand to the side. I did measure myself as well, so I'm not sure what quite happened there. I am moaning, but I could make them smaller. Again, that would involve taking them apart, making them smaller and putting them back together. Is it worth it for some pyjamas that I'm only going to be wearing around the house or at night? Probably not. So that's the reason why I haven't done it yet. They can't be that bad because my partner actually asked for a pair, or more accurately, I asked him if he wanted a pair and he said, sure, why not? So that's probably something he will be getting for Christmas if I can wait, or for, I don't know, a pre-Christmas present. But yeah, so those are 4 things that I've made. So for that quick little tour, so the dresses that I made, they're self-drafted, so I don't have a pattern for those. For the skirt that I showed you, the yellow skirt, that was a pattern from New Look, easy, and it is pattern 6456, size A. So it's 6 to 18, so quite varied. So these are the different skirts that you can make, or on there as well. So you can make it with pockets, you can make it mini, midi, long, floor length. Yeah, and that was for the yellow skirt. For the pyjama bottoms I showed you, that was a simplicity pattern for guys and girls in 2 hours. Pattern 1563A, so size extra small to extra large, and they are unisex, so this comes with quite a few designs. So you've got the pyjama bottoms, you've got shorts, you've got a dressing gown and shirts as well. So I might have a go at making a shirt. I've got some quite t-shirt material. I know that there's a word for it. Can I remember it? So I've got some t-shirt material that I'm planning on using for a shirt. It's quite out of character for me to make so much clothing. Usually I don't make any. If you have seen my 2023 goals or my goals update, you will see that one of my goals this year was to make more clothing pieces for myself. So I buy quite a lot of fabric, and I use a lot of it for my business, but there are things that I pick up and I think I really like that. I wish I had blank made out of this. I really wish I had some pyjama bottoms made from this, or wouldn't this be really nice as a dress or a skirt or what have you. So this year, rather than sort of hoarding up all of my fabric, I've started using it more for projects, especially for myself. One thing that I'm really enjoying at the moment is making Christmas presents out of the fabric that I already have. So using it up in creative ways to try and make something that someone will genuinely like out of it. And yeah, that's my little rant. On the subject of that, I will actually be making a video soon, recording a video probably today, about some ideas for gifts that you can start making. Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent. So some of the other things that I have sewn recently. So this is beautiful. It's a reading pillow. So it's got a bookshelf at the top with various books on it, and at the bottom, I love reading. So this is a cushion cover, but it is also a reading pillow. So you can put your books in here when you're finished with them, and then you can come back to it. So you can leave this sort of on the sofa or in your little reading nook. And this is a present for someone. So if you're watching, act surprised when you receive it. And then on the back there is lots of different books. I just love the design of this in particular, the books. Now this was a fabric panel. So a fabric panel, I have explained it before, but just for those who don't know, so I'm rattling around. Fabric panels are printed fabric that has everything you need for it in the right sizes for a project. So for this one, it was 4 pieces of fabric. So there was one with the books on it, or the bookcase. There was another smaller bit with the I Love Reading for the pocket, and there was 2 bits of fabric with the book covers on it, ready for the back of the cushion. So panels make it easier. They can be a little bit more expensive, and obviously you can't personalise the fabric choice as much. But I am really enjoying using them at the moment. Yes, so the sewing panel for the book cover is from Lewis and Irene from their books collection. So yeah, that will be going to someone special for Christmas or their birthday. It's a present for someone. One of the next things that I made is, if I can find where, there we go, this little pouch which says bonjour. So this, I believe, was a kit from Molly Makes. I wrote on the front fabric quite a while ago, and I used a pencil which I could not get rid of. So this is not the same fabric that was in the kit, but I sewed it and embroidered it whilst I was in America. So that was a nice little project for me. And then the inside is just plain white. So that was really fun. It was, I think it's just is it back stitch loop embroidery. I don't know, it's been a while since I last did embroidery, regardless of my name. So yeah, that was a nice little project. So this is another one. This was a kit that was in my stash. I believe it's called a Somerset something. I'll have to put the name at the bottom. So this came with all of the material that you need. So it came with I believe 8 little squares of this, 8 little squares of the red floral fabric, and 4 little squares of the red. So underneath it's just plain white calico. These red bits all meet in the middle. I don't mess about with them. The red bits all meet in the middle. Then you've got the floral, and it is just backed with felt, and it is on ribbon so that you can hang it up. This, I believe, will be a gift for someone very special to me as well. They live in Somerset, so it might be their style. Hopefully it'll be a bit meaningful for them. I was thinking I could embroider a little message on the back, and that may make it a bit more special. So this, although it looks quite simple, it was really complicated to get everything at the right angle, the right space, the right distance away from each other, so that it looked quite natural. And if it was my decision, I would have had this fabric coordinating with the other two. I feel as though sort of the white, blue and pink ditzy floral didn't really go with the rest of the design, considering that the ribbon is red and the backing felt is red as well. I thought it would be more fitting for red. However, because I wouldn't have used the fabric for anything else, I felt it was best to use the fabric that it came with, so that I'm reducing waste. But if I were to do this again, I would definitely use more coordinating fabrics. So that's that. I think it might be quite nice. So at the moment it's a decoration for a wall. I was thinking it might be quite nice as a pot holder. Very old-fashioned probably, but because of the layering of the fabric, it makes it quite thick in places, which I thought would be better to prevent heat from going through, transferring through. For example, in this spot here, you've got the doubled over fabric, so you've got 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lots of fabric on top of each other, layered. 14 layers of fabric. I got there in the end. And then obviously there's more around the edges. The important part would be to use cotton fabric and cotton thread as well. And probably not felt on the back, because I'm sure that that's acrylic. It can be acrylic, it's not always acrylic. It can be acrylic, and that would obviously burn. And the last two projects that I have got for you as finished objects, one is a silky, a bird. Trisha the Silky is the name of the pattern. It is from Toft. I really enjoyed it. I will say that it was a labour of love. It took quite a long time and a lot of concentration, but it was nice to finish it off and have it finished. I'll try and pop in a picture here as somewhere. I did enjoy the pattern. One issue that I did have was with the loop stitch. So once I finished it, the bird wasn't as fluffy as I had hoped it would be. Now that's probably an error on my part. Maybe I didn't pull the loop out enough before I sort of continued with the stitch. It does look ever so slightly more like a bird that's been in a fight or a bird that is balding slightly, just because it's quite patchy, rather than being sort of this afro of beautiful hair like silky birds have. But that was lovely. I've given that to my sister-in-law and it is sat on her bookshelf, hopefully as we speak. And the last one that I made was these two. So this was a Serdar pattern, which I did have on the side. Not very organised today. Haha. It's on the floor. So it is a Serdar pattern. I did actually buy this as a kit on one of the... I did buy these two as a kit when I was at Stitch Festival, not the time just gone, I think 2020? No, 2021 I think, after lockdown. So that is what they're supposed to look like. Say mine are fairly accurate, and these are the two that I made. So one's a male, one's a female. So I would say that they're really cute. There's probably not meant to be that much difference between the sizes of them. Hold them sort of equally. However, my stitches are a lot looser on the first one I did compared to the second one. This one's much more compact. The kit came with everything that I needed to make them. So it was Serdar Happy Cotton, just plain, nothing fancy about it. The stitch definition is really, really nice. It walks you through how to make it exactly, and it is really fairly simple. It's straightforward. If you've done amigurumi before, you have to concentrate on all of your stitches. You need to keep count, and you need to count the rows, etc. It's not necessarily difficult, it's just that you've got to concentrate on it. So it's not something that you can do whilst you're watching, I don't know, something that you've got to concentrate on. Something that flows, I don't know, maybe a crime documentary, or I don't know, your favourite series is probably not something that you can just sit and crochet and fully focus on what's happening. Some of the stitches, a lot of it was just single crochet, increasing, decreasing. These stitches here, they are very beautiful. I'll see if I can find the name of them. So they call them Mr. and Mrs. Swan. It's a shell stitch. So these were really cool, and a little story for these as well. My local area has a competition every year. So they have a competition for various things. So just to name sort of the art competition, they had paintings of landscapes, portraits. They had a miscellaneous category, a sewing category, a knitting and crochet category. Quite a lot. If you can think of it, there was probably a category for it. Along with that, there was there was a flower category, so all different types of flowers, vegetables, fruit. There was a children's section. Big. It's basically a hall, and they have lots of different sections for different entries. Anyway, I entered these into the knitting and crochet section. I thought that I'd had them. They represent the local area. There are a lot of swans, so I thought that that would be meaningful, and I've spent a lot of time doing them as well. I entered them, and when I came back, I'd won first prize. There were a few other entries, but yes, I won first prize, and I was very, very happy with that. Next year I will have to think more so about what I'm going to do. Not that I'm competitive at all, but the more points you get for each category, the more likely you are to win the larger category. So for example, I won the knitting and crochet section. If I'd have also won sections of landscape, best photograph, best portrait, miscellaneous category, sewing project, etc. If I'd have won prizes in all of those, they add up the points, and then you're more likely to win sort of the bigger, I think it's a medal or a plaque that you can put on the wall. So yeah, that's quite nice, and that's something that will happen next summer. So that's definitely something that I want to be involved in. So those are my swans. Would I do the pattern again? Probably not, and that's not the fault of the pattern, it's the labour that goes into them, I think. And because I've got some already and I will be keeping these for myself, I don't feel the need to produce more swans. The same as the silky, because that was a present for someone and I've made it now, I probably won't be making it again. After all of those finished projects, there are a few works in progress as well, so projects I'm currently working on. I will sort of glide through those just because I know that I've been talking quite a bit. This is probably quite a long episode. So the first one that I've been working on is a pattern handmade by Joe, and I was a pattern tester for some socks that he produced. The pattern has now been released. It's called Joe's Cozy Toes. I have finished the first one, and they are sister socks, so the colours alternate. I finished the first sock, which is the black one with the white heels, toes and cuffs. I just need to make the second one. Is it difficult? No. Again, you have to count the rows, you need to concentrate, you need to count stitches to make sure that you're not increasing or decreasing by accident. It's not difficult, I just need to do it. I haven't been doing so much crochet at the moment, more so I've been doing sewing, as you can probably see. Again, with trying to get the business ready for Christmas, there has been a lot of sewing for business, lots of advent calendars, stockings, etc. So the next project I have been working on quite a lot for crochet in particular has been a shirt using 3 balls of yarn from Portugal. So it's in a rusty colour, so like an orange rust colour. There's a very dark grey black colour, and there's one that's in between, so it's got 3 strands. It's got white, orange and black, the same in matches. So my thoughts on this, because I've only got 3 balls, I was going to make a shirt that was stripy. So a stripe on the front, orange, the one in the middle and black, and make it matching. The issue I've had, firstly, I've been going for quite a while. If I'm honest, I don't like the design that I'm working on. It feels as though it will be something that I won't wear. The other issue is that as I've been crocheting whilst I'm watching something, or I've forgotten where I'm going, it's gone very skew width. And yes, you could argue that I could block it, so wet it and hold it straight until the yarn remembers, or sort of stays to that shape. You could argue I could do that, however, there's only so much blocking can do, to be honest. It's not even a complicated stitch, it's a very straightforward stitch. I've just obviously got lost somewhere along the way. So I am going to frog that shirt, or the beginnings of the shirt that I've started, and try and find a pattern that has the right amount of yarn. I only bought 3 balls when I went away, so I need to remember, because I only bought 3 balls when I went away, I need to find a pattern that has the correct amount of yards, which I have struggled with so far. I've searched quite a bit on Ravelry for similar yarns, or you can search by the yarn, so the same yarn, and you can search by yards as well, so I can try and find something. So far, no good, but I just need to knuckle down and find something good, because it's yarn that is meaningful to me and I would love to actually wear it at some point. So that's 2 projects I'm working on. I have recently finished a hat, just a straightforward crochet hat. I love it. I'll be putting this online to sell for the winter season, if I don't find a recipient for it. I've got loads of single skeins of acrylic yarn in my stash, so I will be making quite a few hats, and probably scarves, and maybe some gloves as well. So after all of that, thank you if you are still here. I appreciate it's been a long one. Hopefully you've got a project out and you've enjoyed seeing a few things that I've been up to. I promise next time, I'll try to promise next time I won't leave it as long, because I appreciate this is quite a long video when I leave it quite a few months. Thank you very much for watching. feel free to leave me a comment. You can find me on Etsy, Instagram, here. And if there is anything that you would like to see in the future, please leave it in a comment below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.